a straight up 5-minute video about claymation yet again. And we're going to talk about the exercise orientation of claymation. What we do with sculpting as far, and even handling filming tools and editing. If it has anything related to carpal tunnel, no, seriously though, like having to do with like what do you do to exercise when you prepare for claymation? What kind of exercises prepare your sculpting and filming techniques and tool handlings, if there's any available? I asked this question a day or two prior to this video filming to a friend of mine, and I think there was no good easy answer for that. It was just not even an expertise thing for either of us. But the point comes across that I think some exercises like ball squishing, like I do that, I do that a lot. Ball squishing, rope tugging, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, even to your core and to your legs helps a lot because then you can withstand sitting on a chair all day or even moving around to do other things around the stage. And then seeing if you can bend down a lot with like aka the sit-ups, but and most of the hands and arms being that you're sculpting a lot, so even the arm strength, the limb strength, and the palms and your fingers will help a lot with exercises. And that is why again emphasize the ball squishing and the rope tugging is like the cord pulling and all that. You're not just doing that for your own health; you're doing it to be a better animator, but both are important, I guess, in that example. So that being said, why would this be necessary for claymation? Well, it becomes an important focus to notice that freaking touching the toughest modeling clays we've ever had known to man as an infant, I mean, aka preteen or teenager, early teen, whatever, however old you are, younger, old in a perspective. It's tough on your fingers early on by my own bias, because my own experience was that when I was younger, I couldn't even budge the clay as much, let alone the wires or the filming tools. Even touching a DSLR at that young age would have probably been a pain in the ass. But, just you want to be someone who can animate without problem, even if it still wears on you over time, because everyone's got a limit and burnout session. But you don't want to be so brutally incompetent at the craft that you don't even know how to withstand what you actually want to do, that you know you can do, if that's even a thing. It's just so exercise helps with that. And exercise is not just being a physical or mental health capacity. Oh, and by the way, the mental health capacity. Because if you exercise and your mental health becomes more optimum by that, then you can think faster for the shot lists and for what the next film the frame is. Your patience comes higher. Even mine would be, but your focus on stability for the prop films and stills comes better. You're able to know and visualize. Your eyes will, maybe even your eyesight can be affected by this. You can actually focus better on what's actually happening in the scene, and then you don't worry too much about what you need to do next because you're already on good terms on your health, and even if you stop early anyways. My point is that exercise is just one example of how you can prepare yourself to be a better animator. Now, I could get into one more thing in this video right before we close. Sculpting smudges. My animations have been very dirty, if you haven't noticed. That's one of my easiest weaknesses so far, is I don't take the time to edit or even physically take off smudges with tools or actual like physical homemade tools, or even just take a wipey and just take off the smudges. No, I go all in. I go all in. I don't even stop when I actually have legitimate smudges, making it hard to tell what the prop looks like, as you may have seen with the pocket prop from Ones Within or Hat Kid from Hat in Time. I was very smudgy with those props that I didn't make it easy on them. They were still good looking, but they weren't like as best they could have been. And that could be another thing with the quality content example, was that just because it isn't as good as it could have been doesn't mean I didn't try. And then when you make preparations and pre-production with the exercise, and even in post-production with not having to give yourself, again, carpal tunnel on the mouse or keyboard for editing and all that, then yeah, exercises can help with that. Even mental stimulation, where you're doing just a bit of reading every day, maybe 10 to 30 minutes every day before doing claymation, then you can make your mind stimulate a little bit. That could be a pursuit of science, but even that gets the point across. Your mental and your physical health are important, not just on a level of burnout, but even from actual focusing on the craft itself. You want to be someone who's physically and mentally stimulated before you get into claymation, because if you're not, you won't make it good, you won't feel good about it, and you won't be the kind of person who knows what they're doing, even if you had a plan that was just by itself without an actual blueprint script. But But that's the answer always. But